I'm vengeance.
Wakanda forever!
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Suit Up Geek Podcast. My name's Lo. Over in PA, we got Dives. Down below, we got AJ. How's everybody doing today?
Doing great, buddy. Let's go.
Nice and relaxed.
I just have to say, what a pleasure it is to wake up on Friday mornings and kick off our weekends with The Mandalorian. These last 3 weeks have been epic, and I just got to say my personal opinion. I think this is the best episode of the season. How about you, Dives? What is your first impression and takes from this episode?
All right. So, yeah, you absolutely are 100% correct. So I wrote reviews for the Clone Wars. I wrote reviews for The Mandalorian Season 1. And like these Friday mornings, man, are some of my favorite mornings of the year. I wake up at like 4:30 in the morning. I write my review. Go check it out at moviesmatrix.com. It just released. But it is like hands down the most exciting part of my week. We had chapter the season premiere of season 2 was here. Then it went like to the next chapter 10, and then chapter 11 just brought it up to a notch. And I feel like we're going to be geeking out about this entire episode. But man, you know what I got to talk about. My first impression is seeing a live action Bo-Katan was everything. As a huge fan of the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, there's really like no words to describe that initial feeling about seeing a live action Bo-Katan take off her helmet and just kick all sorts of badassery. It was just a real special moment for me. And Katie Sackhoff as Bo-Katan looked perfect, and we were talking about it on Messenger here. Like, it was handled so well, and my first thought was like, I want more. Give me all the Star Wars Disney Plus series content right now. Like, give me that Ahsoka Tano, Sabine Wren on the search for Ezra. Give me a Bo-Katan series. I want it all. But this episode was by far the best episode of this season. Probably one of my favorite episodes of the entire series. And while I enjoyed the first 2 episodes, it felt detached and it didn't really push the overall arc forward. But this one was just a game changer, and I'm really excited to kind of talk about that.
By the way, if you're just joining us, this is the Suit Up Geek Podcast. Today we are reviewing the episode 3 of season 2 of The Mandalorian. AJ, what was your first impressions and takes from this epic episode?
Oh, it was a beautiful episode. Well done by who directed again? Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yep. That's correct.
She did an amazing job directing this. Seeing Katie Sackhoff as Bo-Katan in live action felt really, really cool. I know a lot of fans were super excited about that, crying about it, everything. And just to see the battles within this episode, you can tell like the combat is a definite upgrade from last season, and season 1 had an amazing action set pieces. But this season and this episode alone just upgraded that to a whole new level, and I love it personally. But seeing Bo-Katan once again, she is the second queen of Star Wars after Ahsoka Tano, which we're about to see soon. So I'm excited for it.
Hell yeah! Well said.
Totally back that, AJ.
Hey, well said, man. You know, I picture Anakin in his like Naboo fighter, and he's like, "No, this is pod racing." I take that and I say, you know, when the Mandalorians shot up to attack that Empire freighter, this is Star Wars. Like, that was my reaction. Like, yes. And they're mowing down stormtroopers, and that whole action sequence was just top notch. Like, this is what we pay for. Like, we subscribe to Disney Plus to see this. And Katie Sackhoff, like you guys have already said, just did a wonderful job. Especially, I'm not familiar with her as an actress, but like, hearing the voice and the way she portrayed it, she was great. You would have thought she's been acting for years. I'm not sure if she has or hasn't, but she was wonderful. I only know her as the voice of Bo-Katan from the Clone Wars series. So that was just incredible to see that come to life. By the way, Bryce, hey, Amanda, right there in the comments, you're right. Bryce did a great job. She also, unfortunately, our other co-host, Bat Nipples, isn't with us, but he mentioned that Bryce directed a very underrated episode in season 1, the one with the villagers, and Cara Dune and Mando help train the villagers to defend themselves, a la Seven Samurai. And Bryce, I can't wait to see her do some feature work, because she is really doing a great job with her character work and with her action pieces, which I think compared to the other directors, I think I was watching the gallery for Mandalorian, and Rick Famuyiwa had like 2 people on his set and like little Jawas, but Bryce is dealing with like extras and like explosive battle sequences, and she's doing it again in this episode. So well done. I feel like it's the best of the season so far, and nothing against Peyton Reed, who did the Spider episode, nothing against Favreau, who did the opening episode with Timothy Oliphant, which was wonderful, and they're both entertaining and enjoyable, but this is the nitty gritty. This is what I came to see. We even saw a quick little clip of Moff Gideon finally, and you know, with his epic Lord badassery, like, you know, putting down his foot down, you know what to do, and then they freaking bring the ship down. What an epic moment, man. I woke up with such a huge smile on my face, and episode 3, the Heiress, is a big reason why.
Can I interrupt real quick?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you're into Riddick, but Katie Sackhoff is in Riddick. I just wanted to point that out. Also, she is in Halloween, which is amazing. She's overall just a badass woman. And
wait, time out. Chronicles of Riddick?
No,
Yes, yeah.
Riddick. No, just a Riddick from 2015.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Like that
Riddick. No, 2013.
2013, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. I was gonna say I haven't seen her in much, and I haven't seen that movie, but yeah, she's awesome, man.
I wrote that in my review, and that was one of the things I touched on, was like there were so many nods to other films. Not only does like the Mandalorian love to like skip genres, but I love how it gives these like subtle nods to all these great films. And we saw chapter 11 kind of open up with this like amazing, beautiful view of Trask. And it felt to me like a nod to Pitch Black. I don't know if you guys felt that or not, because it was like kind of the similar feeling I got from Pitch Black when you see the ship and it starts crashing into like this unknown planet. And you just nailed it, AJ. I was going to kind of bring that up a little bit, but Katie Sackhoff was in Riddick. So a little quick nod there. Like I think we saw chapter 1 be kind of a salute to Tremors. Kind of gave a salute. It gives salutes to these films and TV series. It gave a salute to one of my favorite shows of all time, Alien. That was the second episode of this season. But going back to the first chapter was Justified, one of my favorite TV shows of all time, The Marshal. So it kind of does this. And we saw like when the ship falls in the water, we saw kind of the AT-AT kind of pick up the ship. Like all I thought was like Baby Yoda's in this cockpit watching this like droid lift up a ship out of water. When's the last time we saw that? Yoda in Empire Strikes Back, Luke in Rise of the Skywalker. So there's like kind of like these like little nods that I think are all over the place. Even when we see Bo-Katan's reveal, and I hope we really need to talk about Din Djarin's past, because that was a big nugget in this thing. But she said Din Djarin was a child of the Watch. Did anybody think immediately of Jon Snow in Game of Thrones, the Night's Watch?
No, sorry. I went straight to Death Watch. I don't watch Game of Thrones, so Death Watch, Pre-Vizsla, that's where my mind went. So
That's fair. Yeah, we're definitely going to touch on that. But I thought of like the Night's Watch from Game of Thrones and Jon Snow, and unfortunately Vin Diesel or Kit Harington were not in this episode, unfortunately. But I feel like they could have, and I feel like Bo-Katan, like the way she was handled was this like epic badass Ellen Ripley, where like I just want more. I'm craving for more of her, like going across the universe and just being a badass. And my God, there's just so much to pick apart with this episode. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh no, you're good. So now let's jump into like our memorable moments or moments we want to highlight, and I'll kick us off really quick. I loved that aquatic planet. I just thought it was so cool how you walk into the tavern and you see the port, the fishermen, the squid faces looking like Davy Jones. You got the Admiral Akbar looking guys. What are they called? Calamari? right?
Yeah.
Calamari, right? It's like literally something I eat for appetizer. And it was kind of interesting to see a water planet with those aquatic creatures appropriately placed. Very, very well, well thought out. Especially the squid guys. I just cracked me up seeing them pull up nets like regular old guys. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna catch some fish today, So that was fun. And I'm not gonna lie, you brought up the ship falling in the water in the intro. I lolled. I LOL.
Yeah.
I laughed. Like when the ship fell into the water, I just cracked up. Like I had no care if Mando or the child were hurt. I was just so funny. Like, especially how serious Din Djarin is. It's nice to have a little bit of levity, And I'm sure we'll discuss this more when we go into what we expect in the future. But you already mentioned it. I was just like, oh my god, because when I think of Death Watch, I think of the enemy. And season 1 did a good job of making me kind of fall in love with the armor and the clan that Din Djarin was raised in. But if he was raised in the Watch, that's the enemy. So it's like hard. It's like, okay, who is the armorer now? So now I'm just intrigued. So, AJ, what were some of your favorite moments or moments you want to highlight from this episode?
Yeah. Speaking on that moment you're talking about with the aquatic lands, that guy that was just watching then just fall out from the sky, and then when he actually landed and just fell over, and he was
shook his head like
"You're
idiot."
what a dumbass. I was laughing really hard on that one, and of course the scene when they hijack the ship.
Yeah,
I just thought that right there was an amazing action set piece, and to be honest, I wish we can get more of that in movie form, because I think it would be even better to watch it on the big screen. Sadly, we cannot watch it on the big screen right now. But yeah, those are the two ones that I love the most. And obviously, Moff Gideon, hearing his voice, he's just so, what's the word? I can't think of the word. Anyway,
I know what you mean though. It's like Giancarlo Esposito. He could just say 2 lines, and you're just like, ooh.
Immersed. You're immersed with his character just because of his voice, basically.
Yeah. No, he's so good.
He's amazing.
Quick the reveal of Moff Gideon in season 2. Like you see these like reveals and holograms. We saw Darth Maul's reveal in Solo, a Star Wars story. Then you saw, I'm fairly certain that we saw Darth Maul's reveal in the Clone Wars. When Ahsoka first saw Darth Maul, she was like on a bridge and she saw a hologram of Darth Maul in the distance. And that was like, so I don't know if that was a nod to the Clone Wars or what, or Solo. I don't know. But that was also like something I went straight to. It's kind of interesting. Could that mean Darth Maul's in the future? Or I don't know.
I don't think I think we're a stone's throw away, especially with the Kenobi series coming. Like the Kenobi series is happening, so I wouldn't be surprised. But what were some of your favorite moments, Dobbs?
Come on, man. Like we're literally sitting here talking about the potential of a live action Ahsoka Tano. When that game was dropped, there was something truly special. Like, I mean, just if you didn't know, Ahsoka Tano is the best Star Wars character of all time. Period.
Yes.
So I did a video on it. Check it out at Movies Matrix on YouTube. I did just a whole spiel of 5 reasons why. She's incredible. Character development out the wazoo. But that moment where you just heard it and you knew it was coming, either like episode 4 or 5, it was coming eventually. But dude, that moment when they just revealed Bo-Katan and saying that you'll find your way, Planet Colvis, to Ahsoka Tano, man, I just like geeked out. I just straight geeked. This was like Avengers Endgame level of geeking out, where it's like, this is happening. Because like it's something about, it's one thing when you read it online and you're just like, yay, it's happening. It's another thing when you see a live action of Bo-Katan saying, this is happening. Star Wars Rebels, the Clone Wars is a live action thing. And it just kind of blew my mind at like 5 a.m. I was just mind blown. But I wanted to like that was the best. Like the fact that this is happening, and that was like my first response, like, Lo, we need to record ourselves because that could be gold because I am
Oh.
going to be freaking out when that cameo reveal.
I'm
whenever-
down, but I'm just concerned. Like, if we do like a watch and record it, like, is it confirmed it's next week?
No,
Like, what if we record it and it doesn't happen?
we don't know. We don't know. I mean, everyone's been saying it's episode 5 because we know that's the episode Dave Filoni directs.
Oh, okay.
So, but themes of fatherhood are in full force. All right, I admit I was completely wrong that the armor was not Bo-Katan. I was kind of hinting at that. That was one of my predictions in my article, that the armor was Bo-Katan. It didn't happen. However, I think I absolutely nailed it, that we're seeing more and more themes of parenthood and fatherhood in The Mandalorian. Like, all signs point to Din confronting his past, who he is as a Mandalorian. Does he remain the path of the ancient ways, or does he continue to evolve like we've seen so far through about 1 1/4 seasons, into a father, into a protector? And I'm just so excited that we're going to see kind of this, like, him now meet the ultimate protector, the ultimate guardian in Ahsoka Tano. That first meet and greet is going to be so special. And I think Din Djarin is really going to have a major decision. We're kind of going forward now.
No worries, man.
Talk about Din Djarin is going to have a major decision coming about who he is and coming to grips about what it truly means to be Mandalorian. From everything we've learned about Mando as a character, I think there's zero chance that we're going to see like Din just like find Baby Yoda's home world, drop him off, and that's it. That is not the way this series is moving towards. I think we're really going to see that ancient code for Din Djarin tested over these next few weeks. What does it mean to be Mandalorian? And I want to do my last quick nod. That's something this season has done really well, is make the Beskar steel an element to itself. And we saw it from the first premiere, second episode, and now I love that moment where you see Din Djarin just bull rush forward and take all those like shots. And I just love how they're incorporating that Beskar steel. We saw the calamari, try and kill Mando for that Beskar steel. So I love how that's becoming a thing in itself this season. So it's not only is he being hunted for Baby Yoda, but dude, this guy's like got the best armor out there, and he's just targeted everywhere. Sorry, there's just so much to talk about.
No, you're good, man. You're good. No, and you're right. It's kind of like a limited resource, almost like platinum or gold or vibranium, or if you want to take it there. So really quick, before we jump into the grades here, I just want to say quick, because now that we were talking about it, I just remember, like, the thing with Katie Sackhoff is I just love her delivery. What really got me was, like, when she first landed on that boat in the water and she was like, "We got you, brother." And I was like, yes. And then the way she just nod back to, like, this is the way. Like, whatever way you were taught, like, that's one way, but this is the way. I will lead us back home and I will do right. And that got me because I love the mythos of Mandalore, and she just did a wonderful job. So, AJ, what would you give a grade for this episode of the season? And by the way, while we're on grades, what did you think of the first 2 episodes? Because you weren't with us the first 2 pods we did. So,
okay, this one is a perfect score for me. It's a 10 out of 10. No doubt about it. This actually, with this, it helps evolve the character of Din in so many ways. It helps. It just helps him like think about what he actually believes in. What does he believe in? What he's doing is right, and everything just up to now. You can just tell that he's like being conflicted, and he, just like what Dibe said, he's going to have to figure out a way to face his past and face the armor and that guild within Mandalore. And there's just a lot of information you can do on that. And I doubt that this will actually happen within this season or in season 3. So maybe we'll get another season, maybe season 4. But not only that, what was it? There's a lot of questions with like is there going to be another Siege of Mandalore since Bo-Katan is hunting down Moff Gideon, and
I'm just geeking out. I'm sorry, AJ. I'm just straight up geeking out.
It's just so many questions to be answered right now. Like, when did Mandalore gotten taken over again? Was it during Revenge of the Sith? Was it a little bit years afterwards? There's a lot of questions, like I said, and I love these type of these questions that are being asked upon the fans and the characters within the show. And I think that's what makes it an amazing episode and why Star Wars is amazing. So a 10 out of 10 for me on that. Episode 1 and 2. I gotta think a little bit on this one because they combined for me right now. See, episode 2, it was a little weak, but I didn't mind it because it still gave us like an update on what's going through Baby Yoda's mind and Din's mind, and
Eggs.
Basically, he is a greedy person. I'm not getting into that, but yeah, for me, it's they all progress perfectly. Episode 1 is like an 8 out of 10 for me. Then episode 2, I thought was like a 9, and then episode 3 was a 10. So I just can't wait until next episode.
Hey, well said, man. Well said. I love that you touched on that because I think this whole season is really testing Din's loyalty and his morality of what he thinks is right and where should his loyalties lie. I love that you brought that up, AJ. Mm-hmm. So before we do mine and Dive's grades, let's jump into some comments, man. We got some interesting inquiries here.
Okay. All right. Do you think Din Djarin will move to the way of Bo-Katan and Sabine, or do you think he'll like kind of remain part of like the ancient ways? And I think that is a huge question, not only about his character, but the where this series progresses moving forward. There is no way that they're going to introduce Bo-Katan and that's the end of that. There's going to be serious implications moving forward about how and when he meets Ahsoka Tano and how he then circles back to get involved with a potential siege of Mandalore, the retrieval of the darksaber. That is coming big time. And that is like, I think, the biggest talking point about where this series, how it kind of progresses moving forward. I think if I had to predict, I'm probably going ahead again, but next chapter is going to be probably another side mission, but I think 5, 6, 7, and 8 are going to be this like, just like we saw in the Clone Wars, that those last 4 episodes are just going to be this like magical 2-hour movie, maybe longer, of just like epic battles, going to Mandalore, Din Djarin confronting his past, trying to deal with who he is as a person, as a Mandalorian, as a father, and then proceeding from there. That's exactly how I predicted this show to go, to be honest. I think that when we did our prediction show, we're going to go to Mandalore, and probably season 3, we're then going to go kind of where we see Mando and Baby Yoda kind of go off onto their own side mission and find finally Baby Yoda's homeworld. But everything seems to be coming full circle with a major confrontation with Moff Gideon on Mandalore for the darksaber. Bo-Katan versus Moff Gideon, mano a mano. Let's go.
Yeah. For me, I think Din, the way his character is progressing, I think it's gonna go in a way that nobody will predict. Maybe he will just leave the Mandalorian way because when we all know Ahsoka is one of the most free-willed character in all of Star Wars, and if they meet, Ahsoka is going to tell him like, if you want to do whatever you want to do, then do it. You don't have to believe in one way or another. So,
yes,
for me, I think that he might stray away from Mandalorian, but obviously it's going to be after him helping Bo-Katan get her darksaber. Also, it raises the question: how did Moff Gideon get the darksaber? Because the last time we saw Bo-Katan had the lightsaber, but in this episode, she was like, "Does he have the darksaber?" So that just tells me that she didn't know who took it at a certain point, but she does realize who actually did, and that also asks the question: who else had the darksaber after the moment in Clone Wars season 7? Did she give it to somebody else? And maybe it was a family member, maybe it was a friend that she like trusts, and Moff Gideon killed them. And she doesn't really want the dark saber per se, but she just wants revenge, maybe. So, like I said, there's a lot of questions to be answered.
There's so many questions. I have another one, and I'm not looking for answers. I'm just like trying to vent because I saw this at 4:30 in the morning, guys. Give me some freaking slack. It's 7:30, and I just like have a lot to talk about. It's all like kind of boiled inside me all day long at work. What if we see Din Djarin betray or be the fall guy of the Mandalorian people, and we see season 3, they're kind of chasing him as Baby Yoda and Din Djarin kind of find that homeworld. I feel, what if that like maybe Bo-Katan sets up Din Djarin, because no matter what, Bo-Katan is looking out for her people, and that's what matters most to her, period. Could that be a potential plot line where Din Djarin needs to make a choice, and he does, which means he is no longer part of the Mandalorians and might become, one of the most wanted Mandalorians in the galaxy. He already is, but that's kind of been the storyline for this entire series so far. Kind of him on the run with Baby Yoda, buddy cop, escaping side quests, all that kind of stuff. So, and that sets up the Armorer as a potential villain moving forward.
I can see it.
I don't know about that, because with Din's character, he seems smarter than to betray the people that took care of him. So that's one of the main reasons why that seems off to me a little bit. But maybe that maybe for some reason the Mandalorian did something that he didn't believe in, or he didn't think the Mandalorian mythology believed in, and all of that. Maybe that'll bring him to another part of himself to like betray them, maybe. But ultimately, I don't see him betraying the Mandalorian.
Okay.
Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. We're getting deep. We're digging deep. We're like how nerdy we get, man. But hey, Dives, what's your overall grade for the Heiress?
Highest grade I gave an episode in season 1 was 9.5. I'm giving this one a 9.5 as well. I think Bryce Dallas Howard absolutely knocked it out of the park. It was a truly remarkable, well done episode that found a really good balance of everything, from light moments. Like, how good was that moment? How good was that Ludwig Göransson score in the beginning of the episode when you saw the Mr. Frog and Mrs. Frog kind of come together? That it was like, I love how we're skipping genres from like episode 2 was kind of, or sorry, chapter 10. I get that confused. Was some horror vibes, and then this episode had like this sweeping action adventure. I love how we just kind of go one thing to the next. I love it. And you, like I said, it had some really light, tender moments, and then it just became this like balls to the wall action at the end where they're taking over the Imperial freighter. So it was just a 9.5 out of 10. This is probably arguably the best episode in all seasons so far. The Bo-Katan reveal, the Ahsoka Tano reveal. This was a perfect balance of having great Baby Yoda moments. It was a perfect balance of having great Din Djarin moments. The visuals obviously are always 10 out of 10. That is just constant. And then we just have this overarching plot that it finally moved forward that we didn't see in the premiere in chapter 10. So this is a 9.5. This is setting up for one hell of a stretch of 4 more episodes, I think.
I'm excited, man. I'm kind of on AJ's side of the fence. I'm giving it a straight 10.
Nice.
every single moment I was just engaged. I was laughing, I was smiling, I was geeking out. Like when Bo-Katan landed on the boat, like I saw her helmet, I was like, oh my god. It was just bliss, pure bliss, just happiness, joy. It's so great, like I said, to wake up every Friday morning and have this. I can't wait. We're gearing up, we're building up to this climax. I know I don't want to like call it out, but I just don't see how Filoni and Favreau let us down at this point. Like I was down on the last episode because I felt like nothing was going on, but I just know from season 7 of the Clone Wars, like, you know, you kind of got to get some of that filler to get to the good stuff. And, you know, good or filler or bad filler, it's all Star Wars. It's all entertaining. I think we're just so spoiled with how much we're getting. Is like, you know, we don't know how good it is until because we're in it, you know. But then, like, you know, years from now, we can look back like, damn, how good was season 2, you know? So I'm so excited. You know, one more thing I want to say before we get out of here. I just loved how they name dropped Ahsoka Tano, like you were saying, Dives. Like that was such like a whoa, because I thought they'd keep it more mysterious. Like, oh, I know someone, you know, like I know someone on this planet. But she straight up said, no, you're gonna find Ahsoka Tano. Tell her Bo-Katan sent you. Like, I just thought that was kind of like, okay, like just right to the point. Get us all like riled up, you know. So with that being said,
wait,
AJ,
one second. I'm sorry. Now I have another question. Well, just my brain just thinking out loud now.
Yeah, sure.
What if Bo-Katan doesn't really know where Ahsoka is? Because the last time we saw Ahsoka was in the Siege of Mandalore, and in that moment, that's when the Order 66 happened.
Okay.
So
wait, no, that can't happen, right?
No, it happened a little bit once she left. Once she left Mandalore. That moment is where the actual Order of 66 happened. That means
I'm glad you brought that up because I'm not gonna lie, like the timeline's confusing because how old is Bo-Katan supposed to be? Like she looks exactly like she did in the Siege of Mandalore, and that happened like pre-episode 4, right? And this is supposed to be 30 years later, right?
Well, the Siege of Mandalore happened 19 years before Battle of Yavin, and the Mandalorian show happens 9 years after the Battle of Yavin, so it's not that long.
Okay.
Yeah, so Star Wars Rebels started like right around A New Hope, and this is right after Return of the Jedi. So it's not too much time, but yeah, you would be kind of you're nailed it. You would think. Bo-Katan,
yeah, I thought they'd go a little older. I mean, she's great, but I just like she looks a little young.
Yeah, totally.
Hey, with that being said, AJ, what you got going on, man? Anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
Well, I have a new article out on Movie Matrix, called Black Panther versus Wolverine at Movie Matrix, and I'm actually about to get on another podcast with Geek Spot Nation talking about Star Wars again. So that's that.
Awesome. Follow AJ_geek vibes. Go to moviesmatrix.com. He has a monthly series called Comic Coliseum. Black Panther versus Wolverine. Adamantium versus Vibranium. What a matchup. Check it out. Moviesmatrix.com. How about you, Dives? What you got going? I know you got the review cooking. What else you got cooking?
Wakanda forever. I just want to say that quick. But anyway, yeah, we got the review. Man, this is my Christmas. So these next like week or two are the NBA draft and NBA free agency. That's like going to be taking up probably 99% of my time these next few weeks. So we've done so many NBA draft scouting reports, all that. We're going to be live streaming during the NBA draft. It's going to be a ton of fun. So yeah, that's really what, and also Eagles, of course. Every Tuesday night we do Eagles preview shows and pregame shows on Sundays, post-game shows right after the game for the Philadelphia Eagles. So if you're an Eagles fan, check us out.
Hey, your birds are picking up steam, man. Healthy Rager, healthy Goddard. You know, maybe you guys make a run, right?
Well,
anyways, with that being said, I know Sean's probably like patiently awaiting my next piece. I swear it's coming. I've been crazy busy, but you know, you'll find me at moviesmatrix.com. I got something cooking for Thanksgiving. Fingers crossed. I'm not going to jinx myself like I did with the Burton one. So what's up?
The movie draft. Go vote for the action movie draft. We're in the finals right now.
That is happening.
At Movies Matrix on Twitter. Vote for your favorite collection of 6 action movies. Go vote, go vote, go vote. It's tons of fun. Trash talk. I am getting murdered right now. So
Hey, I already lost.
Oh shit, dude! You guys both lost.
I beat AJ.
Oh, okay.
AJ had a great team. I loved every single movie of his, and I'm going up against Zach, and I love every single movie of his. So I saw this coming, but this might be my worst loss out of all of these drafts so far. He's got me like almost 65-35, something around there. So anyway, it was so much
you never know how people are gonna vote, right?
I never know. You never. That's why it's kind of fun. It's fun to see the voting. On the other end, the negative is you're not really voting for the best of the best, and that's kind of like that's another podcast. But yeah.
All right. Well, if people don't know what we're talking about our Actions movie draft that took place on Movies Matrix YouTube channel. Go check out our channel. Check out our trailer reactions. We have another draft coming up, the Christmas draft. It'll be here before you know it. For Dibes, for AJ, I'm Lo. We'll catch you guys next time.